All right, what up, what up, what up, what up? You already know what it is. Trade life. About to show you how to get into the money. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and look at gold today. We're gonna start at the 1 hour and we're gonna just do some back testing on some scalps. So if we look left, we see, let's just remove everything here. And I mean, honestly, we know gold has been going up. So we go to the daily. We see these highs here. We see it's in this zone down here. And this level down here is from $2,276.42 to $2,329. So we're seeing price action actually coming back into this area, which looks like it held before. We didn't quite have it break this wick here over to the left at approximately $2,431.36. We didn't see it wick. We saw it wick above, but we didn't see a body close. Not super strong, but I'd still say we're in a pretty prime zone to see price action continue up. So if we're looking for breaks, I mean, realistically, if we look left on the daily, we have price moved up really aggressively. 15th of February, started to cool down around the 8th of March. So, I mean, yeah, no. Let's turn this up a little bit so you guys can hear this music. I know y'all hear that. Yeah. What on, what on, what on. So, March 8th, that's what I was saying. Friday, March 8th, we saw from February 14th, Friday to March 8th, we saw an aggressive up move in the price of gold. We saw it start to move sideways here. We saw it come back, and then we saw it break above this previous high, but it really just wicked above. Then we saw it really shoot up March 28th, it looks like. So this might be a point of interest here. And then we saw, of course, price action continued up, and it just kind of kept moving sideways here. It moved sideways, so it reached an all-time high, obviously, here Friday the 12th of April. And we saw it pull back just a tad bit. Didn't come down into the zone lower here. Moved sideways a bit, made a large move down, but then we saw it break above. Then we see it coming down here, and we see it moving sideways in this zone here. And again, this zone was from $2,276.42 to $2,329.60. So we're seeing it move sideways now. And we probably want to look for bullish price action. So we're going to go ahead and refine these zones down. So we're going to go down to the 4 hour. And ultimately, what I want to say is we're pretty much bullish here. It just makes the most sense. But if we go down, we can start to really get a better picture of what's going on here. So if we go to this large zone that we marked out on the daily, we can obviously see that there's structure in here. So it moves sideways from April 22nd to approximately April 29th. Then we see it start to come down. At which point we probably could say, hey, maybe we're looking to sell off zones up here. But then, of course, it keeps moving sideways. Finally, it breaks above a previous high, which happened here on the 26th of April. Breaks above. So then we look for the last down move before this up move here, and we can go ahead and refine it there and start to look for price. So you could argue in here that this is a large candle, right? Never got this wick broken above, and then finally it just shot out. And we could use that as a zone here. But this was the up move that we would say broke one of these down move candles. And we could say that's ultimately going to be a supply zone for us. And, excuse me, demand zone. So yeah, the price bouncing around here, and then it shot up a little bit, but then it came back down and just sliced completely through. And we want to see it break above here. Right now, this is looking quite bearish. If we're looking on the 4-hour, it's looking like, right, lows, breaking lows. And it's like, okay, it came back up to here. And if we were betting, right, we'd say, boom. It didn't quite tap into here. So maybe we're moving around in this range and we can expect price to just kind of move sideways a bit. So then we go down to the 1-hour. Yeah, this large move down. I mean, ultimately, we have this large move down and it's not quite in that zone, but I mean, there's arguments here. So we're back in this zone here. We can go ahead and move down and look for scalping. So we're down here. What we ultimately would want to see, we see price just aggressively moving down. So we probably want to see something like this fall down, accumulation, break up, boom, continue up. So we're going to go down to the 5-minute and see if we can potentially find something here. A nice little scalp. So we want to see this ran here, right? We want to see that low ran. So I would say, boom, break down, come up, move sideways. I'm not really feeling this, but we're just going to get this practice in. So we're going to go ahead and watch. We're about 6 minutes in. Let's check this out. Boom, 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 bam. Come back up. I mean, we're after hours right now, so this may not be the best to be trading. We're looking here. We can maybe find some crazy scalps here. So we can go to the 5-minute real quick. And if we're looking at mint blocks, we could say this is probably a block right here. We look for the last up move before the down move. We could say this is the last up move and boom, just smashes down here. But, you know, a lot of it's mitigated in here. So if we were to try and trade off this lower, very low time frame, that's maybe where we would look. Now, you do have this area here. You had a small up move and then boom, we just smash down again. And maybe we could make a case that short term, we just continue to move down. It's moving sideways, most certainly. Maybe we zoom in here and start to refine this a tad bit. So we see these up moves and we see down moves. So probably refine it somewhere like that. We see this large move down here, in this area, and then we see prices just tapping all the way up in there. And price doesn't seem to be moving right now, of course, after hours. So, yeah, there's nothing really here at the moment. And I think anything that I would do would just be forcing it. So let's just go ahead and move to another asset that's probably moving right now, USDJPY. So let's check this out. We're going to go to the daily. And I mean, this just looks pretty bullish. It's been bullish for a while, huh? It's just starting to run this previous high point here down. We're going to run it probably, I'd say. And then maybe we take what's here. And there's a lot of room to just continue moving up here. I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is quite bullish. So we could do something like this. Boom. This is the monthly, mind you. So we do something like this. We had this down move. We had this last wick. We didn't really have it break here. I guess we could say body close slightly below. This is a doji. And we had this break above. So maybe we're looking for price to come back all the way down to here. Or we see this slight stop in momentum, but then we continue up. So now we have the striped pajamas here. And maybe we wait for price to come and tap into here. And we have this down move. So on the monthly, realistically, we could look for a buy stop off of there like that on the next close or the next open, which is in 13 days. So this may not be valid for what we're talking about right now. Let's check this out. Boom, bam. I mean, this seems like it could potentially be something where maybe we're in the zone, we see this break up. Maybe let's go ahead and take one more quick look. So maybe something like this. You see price come somewhere down there. Oh. Because if you look here, you have this large mint block, right? We had it break up above here. Then, I mean, maybe we could argue where does this come from. So this entire area becomes valid at that point, right? So then we look for zones in this space here. Really, my eyes go down here, which we have that tapped in, mitigated, and we can argue maybe that's not a full mitigation. We have this breakdown here, takes off here. So we have something like this. Looks like we're in that zone right now, but we come back and we mitigate it. Looks like we're running this here. So we could zoom in just a bit, get a better idea of what's going on here, and potentially refine this. So looking at these zones, bam, we come down. This large break here. So you see these wiki candles right here. We don't see any body breaks. So if we look, this is a body break, but we don't see any body breaks, I guess, below that until we see this large wick, but that's not a body. So then we just take these extensions and we want to see something break above this, which is just really ugly here. It finally breaks above over here. Then you might ask, well, which candle do you use? And honestly, I wouldn't use any of these. But since we're kind of trialing here, we're going to see what it turns out. So if we were waiting here, we see this break down, looks super ugly, and we sign to see it break up, but then it taps back in right here. And I mean, hindsight's 2020, right? But you see that break right there, right here, actually. Then we want to see this ran. So then we finally see a body close here. Maybe we would have got this, something like that, potentially. That's very, I wouldn't say we probably wouldn't have gotten that. But you see it tapped in there. We continue to see it move up. But remember, what we're trying to see is what zones are valid in here. Maybe this zone, I mean, there's still a good amount still left in here to be mitigated. So we could wait for it to come down into here. And what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and throw an alert here. Look for accumulation. This is the future. All right. And we can just pretty much leave it at that. And I would say, I mean, if we're expecting it to go down there, we could do some risky counter trend trading. And I mean, we have this up move. We want to see a break here on the 15. Up move, boom, shattered. So we look here, bam, 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 thank you, ma'am. We're in that zone right now. We go down to the 5 minute and we're looking, hoping, praying, wishing. Now what we want to see is we want to see it break this white candle right here. This happened about 15 minutes ago. Haha, because it's 3 candles. You see that? We're on the 5 minute time frame. Makes sense, right? We want to see this break down. And then after we see that break, we can sell stop to take down to this level here. At which point we want to buy. So, I mean, this looks like there's a lot of meat on this bone. That's a 1 to 5 right there. You know, why not? We're going to leave this on there for a sell stop, and we're going to call this a video, y'all. So hopefully, you're following along. Hopefully this was quite interesting. If not, hey, it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. It's your boy, Trade Life, and I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.